Meanwhile, a growing number of Russian women are demanding the return of their husbands from Ukraine's frontline. Thousands of husbands, sons and brothers were mobilized under a decree by the Russian President Vladimir Putin in September last year. And as the war continues to drag on, the demand for the return of men back from the front lines is also gaining traction. We leave you with this report as we call it a wrap. Thanks very much for staying with us. You're watching WION World is One. Stay tuned.
Maria Andreeva's husband has been fighting in Ukraine for more than a year, but she's waging her own battle in Moscow to get him home. And she's not alone. An increasing number of Russian women are demanding the return of their husbands, sons and brothers from the front line. They were mobilized following a decree by President Vladimir Putin in September last year. Hundreds of thousands of young men rushed to leave Russia. Millions did not, and some of them were called up to fight.
We
want our men to be demobilized, to bring them back home to us, because we believe that in a year they have done all they could for the front, and even more that was required of them. They are civilians. First of all, they're losing their skills. They're losing their health, both physical and psychological.
Since Andreeva's husband was mobilized, he's only been back for 2 short breaks to see his wife and young daughter. Andreeva says this is insufficient for a soldier fighting in a conflict.
Just so my daughter understands that you can play with that dad is nearby, that dad rocks her in the evening. You see, her dad is very involved and has been so right from the beginning. And it's very hard for her without her dad. And then boom, here we go again.
As part of their demonstrations, they're aiming right at the top.
We are trying to get through the direct line with the president. Then we will think further. Solitary protests. Something like putting stickers on cars so that they don't forget about us. We will put prints on clothing. Do everything possible to attract attention to the problem. We will also try to interact with the media. Many girls already want to, are ready, are trying.
Tackling the movement is a delicate matter for the Kremlin. Moscow sent tens of thousands of troops to Ukraine in February 2022. In previous wars, it has tolerated higher death tolls than would be politically palatable in Western countries. But the growing movement of Russian women emphasises the complexity and inequality of keeping so many men at war for so long, especially while many more of fighting age remain at home. Women in Ukraine have also demanded their men be allowed back from the front. Andreeva says Russia's defence ministry has barely engaged with the women.